And as long as you keep at it, your efforts will be rewarded, Kupo.
Kill me now.
In the light of the crystals, we see infinite reflections, infinite possibilities. Where once was humble tranquility, the soul finds itself alight with the spark of battle. On wings of crimson screaming death and wings of bladed bloody steel, heroes and tyrants of legends past clash eternally, where mortal men tremble to even imagine. Got my friend here, Warrior of Light. What do you gotta say to the camera, Warrior of Light? People who don't like to say you're a fucking asshole. Is Dissidia gonna be worth your money? Well, I'd argue that even if you haven't played a Final Fantasy game before, this might be the game to get you started. And if you've played and liked a few before, then this game's gonna give you such a fat fan boner. First things first, I'm loading into the game. I make the single worst choice I could make, yet still I press on. The intro cutscene plays. I get a single giant monster to summon in battle. I see my favorite summon in the franchise. Odin is on the list. Flip a card, and
oh fuck the hell yes.
And if you know the source material, that's the feeling you're gonna get every time you see something you remember. Alright, let's just show the game. In Dissidia, you fight. And that's it. Don't like fighting? Then fuck you, bitch! Yes, you get to pick from this blessed roster of champions and fight in 3-on-3 battles. Also, I guess there's these crystal battles, not planning on playing any of those, sorry. Now, I'm hearing some discontent in the back from those degenerates who played the first two games and can't believe their precious one-on-one fighter is now a team game. Well, guess what, Squall, Cloud, and any other socially stunted lone wolf bitch in the audience? It's time to grow the fuck up and overcome your social anxiety. Or you can go play one-on-one in custom lobbies, just go away. And whether you're playing as a hero with 2 friends or a villain with 2 lackeys, there's things you gotta do. Every team game has an objective aside from just wiping the enemy, and Dissidia did it with crystals. They spawn every once in a while, and you want to break them to summon your giant monster to the field. Yay, summon time! Wait, what is... What the fuck? The roster is solid this time, with some notable exclusions. They've got this rock, paper, scissors class system going on where vanguards or heavy hitters beat assassins, assassins beat marksmen, marksmen beat vanguards, and I guess they just left 5 characters out of the equation. Uh-oh. In all honesty, these classes don't affect too much. A vanguard's gonna have attack priority over an assassin, sure, but the assassin can still outplay the enemy. What is important is considering team composition at higher ratings, because while you can roll with 3 vanguards into any enemy, you might want to reconsider a gold or higher. Right, and now for the single most controversial thing in Dissidia, the combat. Combat is fucked. It's so simple yet so weird for someone who likes traditional fighting games. There's a lot of big numbers at play and essentially 2 bars you want to protect. So let's make this easy. You've got health. It's red. It's health. It can only be lowered by an HP attack, which is basically a target's biggest, slowest move, and it has its own button. Protect this shit or you die. 3 deaths for your team and you lose. You've got bravery. What the fuck? It's a big number. It gets bigger when you land attacks and smaller when you get hit. It directly correlates to how much damage your HP attack does. You want this to be big. So combat is simple. You build a bigger bravery total for landing attacks and avoiding hits, so eventually you can combo a dude into a super satisfying oh my god! And honestly, this game feels really frustrating when you can't get your momentum going because it affects your ability to affect change in the outcome. But when you're ahead, you feel like a demigod, an unstoppable power swatting down mortal vermin. It should not be said that the game has a death spiral problem, but one bad teammate or getting ganged up on with no support can be a real piss off. Now, some people have called into question how Dissidia's combat was reworked since the previous game, so I'll just drop some links to Trueblade Seeker's content on the subject. Basically, the old games rewarded spamming HP attacks while the new games force mastery of all your attacks, which is awesome. Also, some people hate the lack of support character in this game, but hey, I know you're online, but if you just look over there, right over there, you got a couple friends. The gameplay's awesome. Couldn't recommend it more for people who like fighting forever, which is what you'll be doing in the story. Basically, 2 dumbass deities crane game some Final Fantasy characters into their world and want them to fight to preserve the essence of the world. That's about the dumbest shit I've heard in video games, but at least we get to see classic scenes like this.
So, I'm glad you didn't forget about me.
I did. For a bit.
Oh, you're breaking my heart.
Sorry.
Okay, the story's pretty lame, but you also fight the summons like they're bosses. I initially thought these were bullshit, cause the first few times I fought Rama, I thought it was literally impossible. But after leveling up my computer allies a bit offline, I managed to kill the guy, and it felt really good. The fights are complex and multi-phase and hard, and they're engaging. I wish you could go back and fight the bosses in online modes with humans, cause the computers are literally fucking brain dead. Oh, by the way, you have to unlock the story mode. Why? What? I've never really encountered a game where the most basic mode is locked behind simply playing the game. And honestly, I actually really like it. Story mode is like 50% cutscenes, so binging them all in a row would suck. You get these Memoria points from playing the game, which forces you to actually interact with the game. And these Memoria points unlock cutscenes and battles. It is my eternal weakness that in a competitive game, I'll play exclusively against the computer until I feel confident enough to play online. And then I get destroyed and feel bad about myself anyway, because human versus human is worlds apart from human versus computer. In this game, you don't have that problem. I feel like the combat is simple enough to jump right into online play once I got the controls down. It takes about 2 hours, maybe 5 if you're slower to catch on. So I'm playing the game online, enjoying myself, and being rewarded with cutscenes and a slow trickle of offline story battles, which doesn't burn me out like if I had to fight through 100 computer battles straight to get to online play. You also get, are you ready for this? Loot crates. Oh yes, the infamous loot crate. Now you can't buy these in any online store with microtransactions, and they're basically a bunch of garbage, and sometimes you'll get a costume. None of these affect gameplay, they're just small cosmetics, which is healthy. I will say it probably takes too long to unlock costumes, because after like 8 hours of play, I could finally afford a single one, but it gets easier with the more stuff you have unlocked, because you'll be getting significant currency from duplicate loot box items. If I had a criticism for this system, it's that not enough costumes or weapons exist to make this system seem truly worthwhile. As of this video, only one DLC exists, which is the infamous Season Pass. It includes 6 characters and some costumes, and yeah, I bought this at full retail and the DLC after about 8 hours of play. I just want more from the game, and there's a good chance we'll get some awesome characters in the future. Right, so before we wrap this up, let's talk online play. If you're playing online, you don't need friends, but it'd make the game better for sure. Most of the time you'll be playing solo ranked mode, which is decent. Sometimes you literally have to carry your team through every kill and barely scrape by like a fucking god, and sometimes you'll be ganged up on and useless and feel bad but still win. And sometimes you'll just flat out lose. I haven't spent any time critiquing the actual design of the characters in this game because frankly, I don't know if I can. This character Golbez is someone that I would, on paper, never play online in a team game. If he takes too much damage, he straight up does less damage. So the enemy team should be able to abuse him, right? But I took him online and won 5 games straight and felt amazing, you know? Meanwhile, Bartz is my favorite character to play, just for his moveset and nostalgia reasons, and I legitimately struggled to make him work online, but I enjoy him nonetheless. I have to make some concessions too. Yeah, the game has little content for a full retail game, but it does have more modes than some fighting games and insane polish to boot. Yes, the gameplay is not perfect, and if you're a Dissidia 1 and 2 diehards, you might not like it, but it's more balanced than any other. It's been patched over 30 times in arcades. This game's been tweaked with precision. Yes, the display has a fuck ton of information, and some people will find that hard to look at, but it's all there for a reason, and it's smaller than the arcade display. Look, I've been waiting for this game for years. I played Final Fantasy 1, 2, 4, 5, and 6, the remakes on the GBA. This game is an immense piece of fan service, and I could hardly be happier. The point is, play around. Find that character you mesh with, have fun. Look, if you've played and enjoyed some Final Fantasy games, you're gonna love this game. I mean it. Just let me have my fun, okay? Here I go. Isn't it awesome how Cecil can turn from Dark Knight to Paladin just like in Final Fantasy IV? Isn't it cool how Garland is just like this villain caught in a time loop, so he's eternally in conflict? So in the game, he gets stronger the more he hits enemies in battle and stays like relevant in the fight? Isn't it sick how Titus is a blitzball player, so his whole moveset is based on dash attacks and recharging his dash gauge to make a relentless offense? Isn't it badass how Furion's a weapon master? Because in the game he's from, every character can use all kinds of weapons and spells and master them over time, so we get this mature Furion who's already mastered all these weapons. It's sick. Isn't it amazing how in Final Fantasy V the characters can master all these different jobs, so Bartz has moves from a bunch of different jobs and he masters them in-game to make them more powerful, and now he's got a Blue Mage ability which does a Goblin Punch? That shit came right from the game, and he's got a Mystic Knight and Ninja and Dragoon and Samurai. He does a Guild Toss before killing him. What the fuck? That's so sick! It's awesome! It's a game for Final Fantasy fans, okay? If you don't like Final Fantasy, which is, you know, like, everyone's heard of at some point, then, like, why are you even here? Get the fuck out of here! Go buy Dissidia! Go support Final Fantasy and play this! Go!